Remember, this entire manga and every manga on this channel is hand-drawn by myself, and now you too can learn exactly how to make your own viral Dragon Ball mangas at www.makemanga.com, where you can learn directly from me. My mangas have got me on TV, on newspapers, and even earned me over $60,000 a month on Patreon alone. And now, you can click the link in the description and pinned comment of this video and do it yourself. You only need to see the website to see just how many thousands of you are taking this opportunity right now. And don't forget also, the next video to this Ultra Vegito series has already been made and is live now on my Patreon right now for over 4,500 of you incredible fans to watch after this. Again, links are in the pinned comment and description. Enjoy.
What's wrong, little dog of war? The devil before Lucifer! So our story continues with the shocking partial transformation of Kazuya Mishima, the Demon Emperor of Sector 2, standing in Vegito's way of escape from the demon realm. As with a monstrous apparition appearing right behind him, he would have just revealed the truth surrounding his existence as the apparent former devil before Lucifer. As the God Killer, in contrast, would be left stunned and open-mouthed, as not only him, but yamoshi too within him would be left perplexed, both uttering the same words. And suitably taken aback by the reveal, Vegito would immediately then jump backwards to garner some space, landing on the opposite side of the Mishima office, before staring forward with his green seraphim eyes and saying, So you weren't as ordinary as you seemed after all. You look old, but not that old. Exactly what do you mean? You were the devil before Lucifer. Who the hell are you? Explain! My, a compliment from you. I'd say that was down to the devil gene within me. As Kazuya, now grinning from ear to ear, would just stare into his gloved hands, marveling at the new power flowing through his veins following his dual-wing transformation, complete with his own red seraphim eyes, as he would say, But what is there to explain, mortal? I am just as I say I am. A former devil, once considered the most powerful in the demon realm, usurped from my throne by that upstart Lucifer. But now he's gone. My return will be imminent. The new devil is no Lucifer after all, and he's no me either. But now folding his arms, Kazuya would actually concede to Vegito's words, almost wanting to reminisce, as with some anger, the Mishima would recall, In days long gone by, I was the longest reigning devil this realm had ever seen, unchallenged, until a certain fallen angel was banished down here. Like you, he rose through the ranks, demolishing the emperors one by one. And on his arrival, our battle was fierce, equal almost. But with my devil gene nowhere near where it had gotten now, the ex-angel scum bested me. And when I heard of his next vessel, the so-called God Killer. I waited patiently for you to come challenge me in exactly the same way. Once I defeat you, I will know for sure that I can do the same to him. But on hearing this, Vegito would almost seem unconvinced and unimpressed, simply closing his eyes as he would say, "You beat Lucifer? Sorry, that was a nice story and all, but I don't buy it. You're strong, but I felt Lucifer's power, his real power. And I know, using only a fraction of it allowed me to do unspeakable things and destroy unbelievable foes. Beating me will prove nothing. But..." As now opening his eyes again, with a smile, he would add, "But me beating you? Oh, with your power, you can bet we'll both be one step closer to getting our revenge. How about you just stop wasting my time and join the army within me? Become one with the God Killer." But almost physically rejecting the offer, the winged demon would just transition straight in front of Vegito, now with both their arms folded, standing face to face, as Kazuya, looking down with his piercing red eyes, would just reply menacingly, "You should be careful what you wish for, mortal. The devil gene is not something just anyone can control. Let it consume you, and it won't be Lucifer you need to worry about. Just ask my son. But no worry, after fighting me, you will learn the error of your ways." A son, huh? Guess we have even more similarities than I thought. No, that is where it ends. As if both cockily smiling at each other, the two warriors would begin to vanish until... In a perfect trade of blows, Kazuya would launch a punch while Vegito would snap a kick. One dodged and the other blocked, as for a moment, the two spiky-haired warriors would clash completely equally. With the two annoyed at their respective surprise attacks being ineffective, almost like using the same brain between them, the two would pull their heads back with gritted teeth and... with a cataclysmic crunch, they would both smash their skulls straight into each other, neither caring for the self-inflicting damage, as their respective green and red seraphim eyes would glow brighter as more energy would be expenditured. Damn it! But only on closer inspection would we see their synchronized attack would not be as equal as first thought, as snapping his body and head backwards in pain with a grimace, Kazuya's bleeding head would be on the losing end. But not allowing him to get too far, his collar would then instantly be grabbed by a gloved hand. Only a fool would think he could be more hard-headed than a Saiyan! As Vegito, now revealed of his own bleeding head and injuries, would be left still smiling away until... Know your place, worm! Until immediately pulling Kazuya forward, only to combo into a straight kick across his body, sending the former devil even further back than before. Who do you think you're talking to, dog? But Kazuya would be quick to show Vegito's attack wouldn't hit that hard, as slamming his knee into the ground, he would skid back and slowly come to a stop.
I'm talking to a washed-up old devil!
But even as he would come to a halt, a menacing figure with Vegito's voice and his green eyes would already be behind to greet and now spoot out Kazuya before... In a violent explosion that erupts near instantly, the devil-winged demon would once again be flung across the stage like a ragdoll. If you truly gave Lucif trouble, maybe I've gotten far stronger than I thought, Kazuya! As revealing himself from within the smoke, the maniac, teeth-baring grin of Vegito would be on full show. His palm out is an explanation for the earlier explosion. What? But this expression would be short-lived, almost instantly morphing to an open-mouthed look of confusion as his entire face would seem to light up and... In a shockingly violent scene, a beam of purple energy would fire with speed right through his fingers and right through the God Killer's mouth, immediately muffling his screams and groans of pain. And from the look on Vegito's face, it would come from the most unexpected of areas.
Instantly sending a shockwave of a beam to explode out of the top floor of the town. As the now disfigured in two places Vegito would be seen looking back at the giant hole in the wall behind him, unable to talk, with his mouth missing before...
So that's what that ugly third eye was for! Tien could learn a thing or two from you.
As with his mouth and hand now regenerated back via his boo abilities, through his scowl, Vegito would be visibly annoyed.
Yet another taste of the devil gene. Do not ever count me out, mortal!
As Kazuya, now revealing himself with smoke trailing from his third eye, would be left standing, his face smiling, but his pristine shirt now ripped, showcasing a part of his chest and a mysterious black tattoo.
Again!
But not allowing us to observe any further, all three of his eyes would glow a magnanimous red once more until...
What? Why is it so fast?
Yet again, the Mishima would blast out a purple laser beam, just as rapidly, closing the distance near instantly to the surprised God Killer.
Close!
But with the legendary green seraphim of Vegito's just by the hair of his teeth, the Saiyan would dodge to his left, jumping away, moving laterally to avoid any more follow-up lasers before...
being sneaked up on, dog?
What? But in a reverse of tables, just like before, when Vegito displayed his insane speed, already appearing behind Kazuya, now it would be the Demon Emperor's time to return the favor. His eyes shining, lighting a warm glow behind the God Killer until... With a violent roundhouse kick that makes perfect contact, Vegito's body would be sent flying, and finally, right into the walls of the office across the room. For the first time now, leaving the giant tower, shooting out like a bullet. That power! And as his body would continue to fling near endlessly, with clearly no ability of his own to stop it, even Vegito would recognize that something had changed within Kazuya with regards to his speed and power. Ultimately landing for a giant crash on the ground, but near just as quickly rising back onto one knee, his body in pain as he would grunt. Did I miss something? Or is this demon getting stronger as time goes on? It's like I'm fighting Broly again. What gives? Did I miss a transformation? The poor puppy has no idea. Pitiful. But as Kazuya would walk forward with a confident stride and his smile beaming, it would be clear the Demon Emperor would know something that none of us did. As he would then walk up straight towards the unsealed cavity in the wall and look out over as if it were a top floor balcony. Swiftly moving down, looking like a makeshift arrow with his two wings, before landing on the ground before the still downed Vegito. I suppose you should know why you're so outclassed in your final moments, God Killer. It's only fitting. As while Kazuya would hint at giving some explanation to his power boost, he would begin tearing off the rest of his damaged shirt. Casting it off to the side in the wind immediately, exposing his bare chest. What is that? They're like what Toppo had, but different. As with a shocked expression, whatever the God Killer would be seeing would be news to him. Like what you see, God Killer? This is the next stage of the Devil Gene. As finally revealing himself topless, Kazuya Mishima would be standing with his body covered in tribal tattoos, along with a lone signature one printed across his arm. As staring forward with his muscular body, the Tekken legend would add, the more the Devil Gene takes over, the more my power will increase to match and surpass yours. Kudos for awakening it. It only responds when a true challenger, necessary of its power, has arrived. A shame, however, this is as much of it you will live to see. Oh, so that's it. Interesting. Surprisingly causing Vegito to rise with curiosity, adding, not sure about the tats, but that ability will be a fine addition to my arsenal. But hearing Vegito's words, Kazuya would only have a laugh to reply, continuing, how bizarre. Most would see this and run a mile. But here you are, more excited than ever. Are you just a fool, mortal? Or is there something you'd like to show me as well?
And as Vegito would now stand straight across from the former devil, he would begin...
something like that. You see, this wasn't the final form of my technique either.
As now finally revealing the black and green seraphim eyes he gained after absorbing the previous emperors, it would seem finally the two juggernauts had nothing else to hide. And not wanting to dilly-dally around, Vegito's injuries would near vanish as he would suddenly launch forward with a battle scream.
He's changed again.
As Kazuya himself, preparing himself by getting into fighting position, would immediately recognize the increase in speed too. But just as Mr. Mishima would attempt to counterpunch on Vegito as he would arrive, the God Killer, with a stoic look, would instantly move straight out of the way at the last second.
Looks like you might need to force that devil gene of yours to work harder, my friend. The gap has closed already. Silence, mortal!
And having been mocked straight to his face on his punch missing, Kazuya would fly back and retreat into the sky, or it would seem.
This is more than enough for you!
But with rage in his voice, Kazuya would beg to differ, still believing in his power as is.
I'll show you!
As with a raucous scream, as his three eyes would glow brighter and brighter, Kazuya would begin unleashing his energy. His demonic silhouette seen in the sky above, surrounded in a violent and growing purple energy. As on the ground below, Vegito would watch as the sector would fall apart.
How's this for power now, Vegito? Let's just say, it's getting there.
As the two would then just stare at each other, as the sector beneath them would begin to crumble from their presence alone. And for a moment, Kazuya would extend his wings out wider until... like an eagle, he would swoop down right for his prey.
Tough talk, but can you really back it up?
As immediately, Vegito and Kazuya would test their strengths literally, being caught up with their hands interlinked with one another.
Show me this gap closing then! Fight back, coward!
As with Kazuya's confidence now at an all-time high, he would begin a rapid assault using his muscular arms first, with Vegito being sent backwards, blocking with both his hands and feet.
Be careful what you wish for, you damn fossil!
Eventually returning a counter backhanded slap that viciously strikes the demon across the face. But only for Kazuya to do the same, landing a devastating blow right into Vegito's gut, knocking the wind out of his sails near instantly. The
the battle soon enough turning into a rapid back and forth war, causing seismic explosions all across the sky, shaking the very sector. But eventually, one would seem to come out on top, as from one of the explosions, a lone warrior would shoot down to smash right into a solid rock face.
What a strange fighting technique!
This warrior soon revealed to be Vegito, who from the ruckus would now have his own clothes spoiled, though with a smile he would still rise. Now emulating his opponent, as he too would rip off his own top, as Kazuya in the sky would comment, "Starting to see why the Mishima fighting style was feared all across the realms. Hey Vegito, unfortunately for you, only my blood can use it." Oh really? Well, let's just see if I can pick it up once I make you a part of me. But eager to carry on, enjoying every moment of this, Vegito would begin tensing his muscles, spontaneously creating electricity as he would signal to continue once more. As an equally eagerly grinning Kazuya would stare down saying, "Again? I see now why Lucif chose you. Mortal or not, that body of yours can stand even the greatest of demons, but not one like me." And like they just couldn't help themselves, at the exact same time, both warriors would then blast straight for each other vertically. One aura purple and the other green. And on impact, both would go for the exact same move, landing elbow on elbow for the most pinpoint of collisions. The aftermath, of course, being gargantuan, with a colossal explosion that ripples all throughout the demonic realm, swiftly turning into what looks like a shooting star in the sky before... But yet again, it would seem that Vegito would turn out to be on the losing end, if not just barely, as Kazuya would land abruptly on the ground by his feet, while Vegito would be left hurtling into the air by force. What's this? But despite how it would seem, when Kazuya would eventually turn his head to peek upwards, what he would see would be no ordinary sight, as a collection of concentrated energy would be generating from the lone Saiyan silhouette. As holding two fingers up near his head in iconic style, the God Killer would be making use of Piccolo's techniques to put everything he had into one final concentrated beam, as he would yell, "I'll give it to you. You have me beat on raw strength, but there's no way in hell your energy could match mine. Come, test this devil gene. Show me how far it can go. Special beam cannon!" As just as predicted from the hand gesture, only moments later, Vegito would fire out Piccolo's signature energy attack, a spiraling beam of energy that looks even more menacing than ever before when wielded by the God Killer. All while Kazuya's dual-winged self would stand firm, watching as the fast-moving and destructive beam of energy would approach closer and closer. What a deluded cope! What energy do you know of mine? Perhaps you really should be shown just how out of your league you are, little puppy! With his own signature technique, Kazuya would match Vegito's completely, blasting out of his forehead his devil laser once again with a striking resemblance in size, speed and power to the special beam cannon.
Kazuya! Vegito!
As with the two roaring out each other's names, the two beams would already now be within touching distance of each other. Until... in a perfect beam struggle fitting of the Dragon Ball franchise, Kazuya and Vegito's blasts would meet instantly in the middle, appearing equal at first. But with powers like this, it wouldn't be long at all before Kazuya would notice that his own beam would be losing ground, as Vegito's special beam cannon would almost seem like it would be swallowing it whole. I told you, demon! It's not over yet! But as Vegito would scream on, attempting to finish things here and now, Kazuya, with his teeth bared more than they had ever been in his entire life, would unashamedly keep pushing. But try as he would, from a side view, the pointless nature of his laser would be all too clear, now looking like a twig attempting to stop a tree. Just as I had said. Good battle, old man. Try not to let your body be destroyed. As now practically having confirmed his victory, Vegito would smirk mid-beam struggle. But interestingly, as Kazuya's whole body would be encompassed in the light, he too would smile peacefully, with all three eyes closed, as he would just mutter, So be it. You were the second coming of Lucifer I desired, just as I wanted. Ultimately leaving a ferocious explosion behind, as Vegito's special beam cannon erupts completely all around the former devil. And with peace finally in the air, as only bellows of smoke would be left, a folded-armed Vegito, suitably battle-worn but victorious, would say, had he not taken me up on my challenge to fight energy versus energy, he may have actually beaten me. That fighting style, the Mishima style, he said. I don't think even Roshi, in his prime, could have countered that. But as he would float above the now soaring clouds of black smoke, he would just about begin to descend, continuing, time to collect the body, and this devil gene all to myself. But stopping him, the God Killer would soon notice something amiss. Peering closer into the smoke, as what looks like a lone star would be seen peeping out. No! You're kidding me! Until in a completely unexpected blast that moved so fast there would be barely any time in between Vegito noticing and his entire body being enveloped in its size, it would make the previous beams look like nothing. As now stunned and pure white, Vegito, with his body frozen, would be completely barraged by an all-powerful attack, and one that inexplicably came straight from Kazuya's defeated direction, sending the God Killer down for an unequivocal slam down from hero to zero in a split second. With now Vegito's whole body now just strewn across the ground in a crater of his own weight, while from the smoke from which Kazuya was once presumed defeated, a demonic, beastly foot, unlike the Mishima, would step forward. And showing half its face through the smoke, a devil, a true devil, would finally be sighted. Its body and texture foreign and out of this world, but its two blood-red eyes instantly recognizable.
Vegito!
What the hell is that? As finally revealing his true final form, the last level of the Devil Gene takeover, Devil Kazuya, the former ruler of the demon realm, would emerge. His body, a mixture of purple and blue scales, adorned all over his body like an organic armor. His presence now would be unlike anything ever before seen in the Ultra Vegito series. As staring at him from the ground, Vegito would just be left speechless, leaving Devil Kazuya to now slowly levitate into the air, looking down with a smirk saying, "Hello again, God Killer. You really did it. You truly pushed me to the very end, and now will witness the same power of mine that will reclaim my throne." Before, with his face switching at a click, with anger he would continue, "And the same power of mine that will have my revenge on Lucif." Your revenge? Your power? But even as brittle as he would seem, Vegito would rise again, standing tall with his teeth gritted as he defiantly would yell, "I think you're forgetting, clown. That revenge is destined for me, and so is that power!" As just as he would say this, his legendary Godslayer blade, responsible for searing through everything it had ever touched, would make its appearance. With true conviction and with no fear, the God Killer would leap instantly into the air. Rest in pieces! As screaming with ferocity, Vegito would swipe down his blade onto Kazuya so fast it would seem the devil had absolutely no time to react. The blade only inches from his face until... What? In an unbelievable sight, one never before seen from the God Killer, his Godslayer blade on impact with Kazuya's skull would instantly obliterate, shattering to 1,000 pieces as if it were made of glass, and Devil Kazuya's body was pure steel. This feeling! I can't beat him! I can't! Yes, that is right, Vegito. This is one battle you will not walk away from. As with a shocking final split panel, for the first time since perhaps his battle with Yamoshi, Ultra Vegito would find himself outclassed, beaten, and with no hope in sight to make it back to the mortal realm. But that was it for today's video, guys, and if you made it this far, leave me a hashtag beaten in the comments down below, and let me know just what on earth Vegito will do this time. Or just find out right now on my Patreon, where you can see the full next video, fully voice acted, soundtracked, and edited for you to enjoy with over 4,700 other fans, as well as getting access to 250 plus other fan mangas too. It's the deal of the century.